All right, so we started working on this bathroom layout in CAD class. So we've created a bunch of views. We have, let me just actually hide this here. So we've got our floor plan view, we've got our elevation views, and we started to work through that. But one of the last views we have here per that sheet is a this camera view, this ISO view looking top down. And the actual key is what I just said was it's a camera view. So how do we create a camera view like that? And so I think there's a few different ways of doing that. The best way to probably do it would be to go to your level 1, which I have here. Let me actually just hide this again. And I'm in my hidden view. So you're in your elevation view. What I would do is I'd start by grabbing a section, and I would just cut a section through the middle of your building like that, or the middle of the bathroom in this case. And we're gonna click here and open up this. And so the reason why I want a section view, because I wanna make sure I'm in the middle of the building. And so when you draw your section, try to make sure it's close to the middle of whatever object that you want it to be in. It doesn't have to be exact, but just close to there. And then what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna do a camera view in a section. And so I'm going to go up to my view tab, and we're going to go to camera view. And what we're going to do, instead of going on a floor plan sideways, we're going to actually go top down. So I'm going to grab my camera, and we're going to grab it up here, and we're going to drag it. Let me actually just, I'm going to hit escape for 1 second. I'm going to turn off do not cut. So you can see my camera up here now. And so again, we want to try to find roughly the middle of our room, and we want to drag this down like here. And now we have that top-down kind of camera view. So you could use this in your studio project as well. So taking that kind of top-down camera view is actually a nicer way of showing a floor plan. So your next question is going to be, what if I have a roof? And if you didn't ask that question, I'm going to show it to you anyways. So let's just say we have a roof of 600 millimeter overhang. And I'm just going to draw a roof around here. And so we have a roof here. But now I can't see the bathroom. I can't see the room. So there's a few different ways to solve this. So we're going to go over here in our camera view. We're going to turn on our section box. We're going to go back to our section 1. And we're going to right click on that camera view, and we're going to go to show section box. And so one approach would be we could hide the roof, we could hide the ceiling. But the other approach is we could actually just take this section box and drag it down so we're just looking below our roof. And it could also be the ceiling. So we could be just looking down below that ceiling. And now when we go to that 3D view, we see this again. And the other actually nice thing about this is we can go to VG here, and we can go to our walls, and we can add a poche in. So we can go background color, solid black, and make that a solid fill. And it actually makes this view a little bit nicer too, because when we cut with the section box, those poches kind of help define the room, and we know that we're looking down into that space. So hopefully that helps. You have a question?
I did.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, Phil, there you go.
I was going to say, when you get the same result, you want to use the regular
No. No, you'd look straight down. Yeah, so if you were in a regular camera view and you just went to your top view, you're not going to see any perspective. You don't see how the walls come down. You just see them straight down, because this view is not perspective. It's basically just isometric, so it's just going to look straight down. Whereas this, you're getting that perspective, and so it's a great way to show floor plans. So.
How can we make 3D section views?
3D section views? Similar approach. So we have our section here. What I would do is we would go to our camera view, and we would draw our camera in the same direction as our object, like this. And it's the same approach. We turn on our section box, but this time we go back to our floor plan, and we're going to right click on that view. We're going to go to show section box, and we're going to drag the side that is on the camera into where our section is. And now when we go back to that view, we have this, and we can go to VG, and we can actually, if we hold, we go down to floor, we're going to hold the control button and hit roof. And we're going to hold the control button again and hit wall. And this time we can go to override cut pattern, and we can change our background pattern to solid black. And that's going to make all 3 of those elements, because I was holding the control button, to have that shaded in black fill. So the 3D section, I think I talked about it like 2 weeks ago in the video, but the 3D section is kind of similar, basically the same kind of concept. And I'll make this video up online as well, so you can kind of see how to do both of these. So helps with obviously the OBC exercise, but also helps with studio projects. So other questions?
Basically, we can just repeat for whichever view you want to achieve.
Yeah. So you can repeat that for sections. You could actually do those with elevations too. Like, I mean, elevations, when we zoom out here, if I did turn on reveal hidden elements, we would have those triangles, which they're actually not showing. So on our site view, how we have these little arrows, we could just do kind of the same concept, but with a camera, and just put our camera kind of there and have it drag through our building like so. And so instead of showing a 2D elevation, you could actually show a 3D elevation. These elevations, we wouldn't have the cut because we're not cutting in this case, but they are still a great way to show a building. I think the other tough part about drawings, I think, is right now we're obviously an audience of architecture students. But say, for example, you take this home and show your family what you did. They don't really understand sections. They don't really understand that. But when you show a 3D section, they might not fully understand it, but they're going to understand there's depth. They can see what's going on in your building. Elevations for on the other hand, you can see depth with elevations. You can see kind of emerging vanishing point, and so it looks more like a real building. And so my recommendation for you is to use 3D sections. You can do those top-down perspective views instead of the floor plan, because again, that looks better. You could also do a floor plan with the 3D view, and you could just crop that 3D view down. So you could take this, add a section box, and just crop these walls down and then hide. So if you look back at this 3D ISO that we created, I'm just going to delete this roof now. But I actually just hid 2 of the walls. So you could hide them, you could hide them, you could make them transparent, you can make them halftone, or you can do that top-down view. So there's many options of showing things. But the other thing I recommend is all your drawings per se, I'd recommend you do in black and white or with very minimal color. Or maybe another way to say it is do it in grayscale, so you have kind of different shades of gray, maybe a tiny bit of color showing some stuff, but then you let your renderings be the color. So you don't try to make everything in color. I would just make your renderings in color. So,
You just answered my question.
okay, cool.